Good morning, students. Today I have taken a small class with a discussion with a question, a 5-mark question which has been given as a model question. Before that, I want to tell about something about the situation presently in southern part and as well as in the whole India. Corona have been or being now being a big threat for us, and also previously we were thinking about a different angle. Actually, it may not affect me, or I am having immune power, or it may not affect according to the age category or something like that. We had many type of misunderstandings and everything, but now it is in present situation. It was being very drastic spread, and also it's affecting more people in many villages. Daily many death due to COVID. So what we can do for this means, please be safe in your home. Whenever you are very necessary to go out, one person go out and take whichever you need, and make yourself comfortable by staying at home. And also whenever you are returning to the home, use all your precautions. Wash your hands, sanitize with soap, wash completely, and then use mask always. And even you can use a surgical mask, and as well as an outside another mask. Double masks can be used. And even whenever you are coming from outside, when you go outside, some person who is coming outside from our house, it is necessary for him or her to take the necessary step. Even she or he can take shower, and completely you can save your lovable ones in the home. And also everybody be safe and take all the precautions whichever the guidance which is given by the government and as well as the WHO. And also you can use some fumigation also in the home by means of natural fumigation by neem leaves and turmeric, and there are many. Even I have shown with certain using neem leaf, turmeric, dried amla, and even we can use some other small cinnamon can also for flavor we can add, and then it can be powdered, and then you can add camphor powder also we can add little, which will support for the incense of fumigation can be done in the home. A simple herbal fumigation can also be done, which will also helpful. And also some of the early morning you can have a drink in hot water with a piece of a ginger, a garlic, and turmeric powder, and some for example little caraway and little fennel, and boil it, and then you can add little honey and a lemon can be squeezed, and you can drink every day. And also you can have some amla arista or amla juice can also be taken, which will give you commonly a mental strength as well as a physical strength for you, and breathing exercise which can be done daily. So these all are some of the practices which we can do and to overcome this COVID-19, which is being a very, very, very threat. And apart from that, prayers, our prayers for others who are finding very difficult, and giving some support for them in many means we can give. It's not necessary you have to go to the spot. You can give many support by means of many things from sitting in the home itself. So these all are things can be done, and prayer is very important. Daily make your prayers for others, and who is finding very difficult, not even they were unable to have any type of conveyance to go for a hospital or to go for taken breathing for oxygen. So these are all things we can have in mind, and we'll go ahead. But anything, I am just making you to come to the class and to listen to these small classes. This is also a small class which I have taken, but especially I have taken some points of this. Is a 5-mark question which is asked in the Kuhas model question for 6th semester herbal drug technology, in which I have taken that only one question for today's discussion. Which has been asked today is that question denotes, write a short note on processing of herbal raw materials. So please kindly, after listening to my class, listening to my lecture, if you are needed to have this PDF, you can go to the comment part. There will be a link, and also there will be a link even in the description. I think it is from my drive. It may ask some password, but if you go for the comment part, which I have given a link, which is by the Acrobat, you can take that PDF, and then you can have a hard copy also, or in a soft copy also, anytime you can read. So here they have asked about processing of herbal raw materials. What do you mean by write a short note? So in this processing of herbal raw materials involves various stages from which the crude drug undergo after harvesting, which is further subcategorized as follows. What are they? Two. They have been subcategorized into two. One is by primary processing. Number 2 is secondary processing. What all the things comes in the primary processing is garbling, washing, or garbling or washing, parboiling, leaching, drying. These are primary processing when after the collection or after the harvesting, post-harvesting processing. Secondary processing, cutting, sectioning, cutting, sectioning, comminuting, size reduction, and aging, sweating, baking, roasting, boiling, steaming, stir frying, fumigation, extraction. When I started reading this fumigation, then I decided at least I have to give something about fumigation which can support some of purification of the room or purification of the home can also be done, which will support in this COVID situation. So that's also I have added one video which is taken from another one doctor who have given an Ayurvedic doctor, which has been uploaded only. I have taken, I did not prepare myself. I have taken from that and I have just added to my lecture also. So these all things which we can have some discussion about your subject as well as I want to make you yourself to be comfortable to remember at least some points which I am delivering today, and which will be helpful for your examination point of view. And I hope this end of this month, surely, if God wishes, He can take all our difficulties within a second, now itself it can be removed. So I hope He will remove, so that your exams will be conducted in coming June, surely. We hope the best and we will prepare for that. So please don't lose your confidence and lose your expectations of your future. Anyhow, the Creator never leaves us once you have a positive thinking and hope, faith and truth all in Him. So we'll hope the best. And see, here we are coming to Grabling. What do you mean by you can say, or not garbling, or garbling, you can say garbling or sorting out. This is a main part when you are collecting some herbal drugs. You have to sort out. You have to remove the unwanted parts. You have to use only the part which is necessary for your purpose of preparation of herbal formulation. If it is leaf, you have to take only the leaf. If it is root, you have to take only the root. If it is stem, you have to take only the stem. So it ensures the purity. This process helps in ensuring the purity and cleanliness of the harvested material. Dirt like soil, dust, impurities like insects, dead tissues and non-residual medicinal plants are separated from raw materials. So this is one type of primary processing. The next one is washing. After garbling or sorting out, the herbal raw materials should be cleaned well by removing the traces remaining soil. Soil traces may be present there. So the remaining soil have to be removed. Sometimes if it is an underground part which you have taken for your formulation. So remaining soil, dirt and some other impurities from the surface, by washing it can be removed. The roots, rhizomes and tubers are washed with clean water. During the washing process, scraping and brushing may necessary. See, sometimes we used to peel off the skin. If you see in ginger, peel off the skin. Even scraping by means of knife is also done in this stage of processing. And you see, this is the video which I have taken for you to show you how a processing is done for pepper, very common in Kerala, our main production, the processing of black pepper. Here you can see that the pepper plant, we know that black pepper, Piper nigrum, the flowering vine, the family Piperaceae, this is already we know that, and cultivated for its fruit known as peppercorn, which is usually dried and used as spices in seasoning. And black pepper grows in India and the tropical Asian countries. Black pepper is one of the common used spice. And black pepper and white pepper, both of them comes in the same plant, only they are different by means of their processing. Black pepper is made by cooking the dried ripe fruit. White pepper is made by and drying the seeds. Understand? Drying. So the black pepper contains a chemical called piperine. Chemical seems to have an effect in the body and it kills bacteria, fungi and parasites. And piperine might have help for absorption in some medications and protects even from cancer. So black pepper is having a more useful. And you can see there are 5 steps in the processing. First one is threshing. Threshing means it can be done by a machine which is shown there. It's an Indian machine which is made up of manually wooden is also possible, and there are many, and also mechanically applicable Indian type of threshing, removing the fruit alone and the other parts will be removed separately. Indian version of threshing machine is available in Coimbatore. This is a model by mechanical means. It rotates, and when you supply it, and automatically it will separate. You can see even it is shown how it is separating also. You can see that pepper gets completely threshed out, separated out, and the other part of the shoot system, stem part, will be removed. So this is another one machine. This is also Indian model, which can be kept in the field itself, and we can do it. And we can remove the pepper fruits separately. So first one is threshing or sorting out or grabbling. So sorting out, and then we are coming to the drying area. So drying, it should be spread uniformly in the sunlight, and it should be spread in a sheet. How you are spreading the paddy, how you are spreading the rye, that is paddy, how you are drying, this is completely first. After threshing you have to dry, and can dry using only sun, and after drying, cleaning, grading. And how you are going to clean? It may have some dirts, it may have small particles, small pieces of shoot system, and it may be having a low quality, they may say, so it has to be removed. A spiral machine, you can see a spiral machine, how it works, you can see that. It will be vibrating, and it will be moving through the pepper will be moving through the spiral vibrating system. By that, the 2 ways where we can remove the small particles, and the small dried stem part can also be removed, and it will be a pure pepper can be sorted out. This is called the processing, a part of the processing which can be used for this separating them. So this is called the sorting out, grading out. And this another machine I want to show you is not only this spiral machine, there is another 2-3 machines are available. This is one very large scale production machine. There is a bucket elevator, vibrator grader, and dust collector, and the feed tray. In the feed tray they will be feeding, and this will be elevated, and so that it will pass through the conveyor, vibrating grader, where it will be grade, and there will be some sieve which is having 1.2 millimeter and 3 millimeter size, where it can be removed, and in 2 places it can be collected. Capacity for this machine is 500 kilogram per hour. So then it is packed in gunny bags, and then it can be kept for ready for the sales. So this is an example which I have taken to show you what do you mean by processing. Understand? What do you mean by processing? So they will be processed, and it will be storing, up to storing, to take for the next step. It is also included in the processing area. So the students can write what should be done. No need to worry about that. Once you have seen this video, you know that how they are processing a pepper. The same thing can be applied in different. This is a fruit, so we are doing like this. If it is a leaf, it will be different. If it is underground, you have to go for washing. So different types of steps have to be followed for various type of processing of herbal drugs before formulation. So now we can see that next step, parboiling is also another one processing step in some herbal formulations, herbal drugs. So after washing, certain herb raw materials need to undergo parboiling process, in which they are put in boiling water for a short period. This may help in improving the storage life or the raw material and prevent the insect or mold or bacteria contaminations. It may also facilitate in further processing, such as removal of stubborn impurities which will be like sticking to them. It may say that it cannot be. So when you put in a hot water, parboiling, that type of impurities can also be removed, as well as sometimes outer coat of certain herbal drugs is not needed, or covering of raw materials whichever not needed, so that can also be removed by means of this process, which will be helpful. And now we are coming to talk about the leaching. Leaching, some impurities can be removed by subjecting the plant material under running water, known as leaching. Running water, like how you are washing in a tap in a kitchen, tap running water forcefully on that. This is somewhat in a machinery, running water forcefully, water is sprayed over it. So some impurities can be removed by subjecting the plant material under running water, known as leaching. However, that duration of leaching should be controlled. You should not go on washing. It should be controlled to prevent the loss of chemical constituents present in the drug. And you see, drying is an important part of the processing. In some cases, the plant material should be thoroughly dried after washing in order to prevent the deterioration and degradation of active constituents. They must be dried as soon as possible to remove moisture and reduce the damage due to microbial infestation. Drying also prevents not only the mold, we are telling the activation of apart from the attack of the mold or attack of the microorganism, it is having a principle of activation of certain enzymes which may otherwise degrade the active ingredients, and also facilitate grinding. So you might have seen that if you want to grind anything, it should be dried condition. So it facilitates comminuting, it facilitates size reduction, it facilitates grinding and milling of the raw material. Depending on the drug and the nature of the ingredient, different drying method can be used, which are as follows. First one is sun drying. Everybody knows, in direct sun drying. Most herbs, raw materials can be dried in open air under direct sunshine, provided the climate should be suitable. Should not be humid climate. Humid climate, you cannot dry by the natural drying. So the duration of drying process depends on physical structure of the plant material and the weather condition of the location. Shade drying, some medicinal plants cannot be directly exposed to the sunlight like digitalis. So hence need to be dried under shade. Thus drying process is slow but helps in minimizing loss of color, volatile oils, aromatic components from being evaporated. And artificial, you can see, artificial drying. What do you mean by artificial drying? Artificial drying, there are many dryers you might have studied in your unit operation or before in formulative classes in pharmaceutics. So drying by artificial heat to more rapid than open air drying by natural, and it is necessary in rainy season. You have to depend on artificial drying. And regions like if suppose always raining in Assam and all, you have to go for artificial drying. Where there is high humidity and the temperature and the equipment should be dried. Drying depends on the physical and the chemical nature of the drug and its constituents. It also plays a major role, and its constituents. Various equipments such as tray dryers, spray dryers, vacuum dryers. If suppose thermal oil substance, you can prefer vacuum dryers are used. Overheating may lead to excessive loss of volatile components as well as decomposition of certain chemical constituents which are thermolabile. So we have to be always careful about the temperature which you are using for drying. The temperature should be kept below 60 degrees centigrade wherever possible while drying herbal drugs. And you see secondary processing. Now we are coming to the secondary processing. Secondary processing differs from one herb to another depending on the nature of the active ingredients as well as therapeutic properties. So first one we can say cutting section and comminuting, size reduction. After thoroughly drying, the herbal materials are processed by cutting and sectioning into smaller sizes, size reduction, which are convenient for storage as well as extraction. Various size can be obtained depending on the part of the herb and extraction method used. What type of extraction method you are used? According to that, you will be decide whether I want small particles or coarse powder or fine powder. So that will be decided by what type of method you are going to use for extraction, and also depends upon the material which you have selected and what type of material, what is the texture of the material. This all makes you to decide what type of size reduction have to be selected. Aging and sweating. Aging refers to storing the raw material for a specified time after harvesting. It is generally done under sun or in shade for up to a year. During this process, aging excessive water is evaporated and enzymatic reaction may occur to alter chemical composition of the herbal material, which will be some advantageous properties we will obtain. I have kept some example like cascara also. I have taken some example. You can see cascara bark, which is having androgen glycosides like senna. It should be aged for at least a year period of use of medicinal preparation after collecting, after harvesting, to reduce its irritant effect. It has an irritant effect. That irritant effect can be removed by means of keeping this bark for a year, aging the bark for a year, or sweating the bark for a year. Sweating is done by subjecting the herbal material at a temperature between 45 to 65 degrees centigrade with high humidity for a period ranging from 1 week to few months. The herbal material are stacked between, are kept between, tied between wooden blankets or other kind of cloth. The sweating process is considered a hydrolytic or oxidative process in which some of the chemical ingredients of the herbs are hydrolyzed or oxidized. So you should know that some of the words, what do you mean by sweating, what do you mean by aging, and what is its advantage. You can tell about the example of cascara bark. These all things makes the students to write more and more detailed example and easy for you to get the mark. So cascara, what is its use? Cascara, as I told, it is an androgen glycoside. It's specifically like senna for constipation. It's a laxative property, and cascara is used as a laxative for constipation as well as treatment for gallstones, liver ailments, cancer, even it can be treated. Some people use it as a bitter tonic for digestion, and in foods and beverages, a bitterness extract of cascara is sometimes used as a flavoring agent also. The active constituents of cascara, as I told, androgen glycoside, which is present. Androgen glycosides means, you have to remember immediately what? We have studied the chemical test, that means bone Trager test, modified bone Trager test. These all we have studied in the last semester. So anyhow, another example of I have seen, this is about the beans which is available in our place, and we used to use for usually in the food, and also we used to take these beans, especially this one is very common for treatment and common for the persons who is having diabetic. They used to take, if you take, it will be very good for a stimulation of secretion of insulin from islets of Langerhans. So vanilla beans are subjected to sweating between wooden blankets and about 2 months, during which they loses up to 80% of weight and develop a characteristic desirable color and odor. So you see, by means of aging, by means of sweating, you are making the drug to be an efficient for the use by various preparation, and it gives a color, it gives sometimes enzymatic action, it gives a feasible effect for the preparation of herbal formulation. So you can write these things, how the processing helps also. And what do you mean by baking, roasting? Baking and roasting, like cooking and roasting, heating it and roasting it. Understand? And it is a process of drug heating where the herbal materials are heated in ovens. The temperature of heating and duration of baking, roasting vary from one herbal material to another until the herbal developed a specific color. So this is commonly even in our house, in our home. We used to do some many roasting and frying. The mothers may be knowing how long you have to do, how much the flame should be to be controlled, and how to get the uniformity for frying. These all have the parameters of experience which can do, so that you can preserve the particular material for a longer period. For example, nutmeg is roasted till they turn to yellow-brown color. Boiling, steaming, in boiling process, the drug is cooked in water or any other liquid solvent. What is that any other liquid solvent? Such as vinegar, wine, milk, and animal urine even. You can, for a typically, there will be some procedure by Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani. They may use sometimes this should be boiled in water. This should be boiled in wine. This should be boiled in milk. This should be boiled in cow urine. So like that they might be used for various purposes, how they are having some ability to act towards certain ailments against bacteria or infections can also be treated by means of this process. So this also comes under secondary processing. Next example I have given, Acorus calamus rhizome is boiled in cow's urine to enhance its anticoagulant and not anticoagulant, anticonvulsant effect. So anticonvulsant effect of the Acorus calamus is increased by means of when you take this and boil this particular drug in cow's urine, which can be specifically used for epilepsy patients. So in the steaming process, the herbal material is kept in contact with steam using a steamer, resulting in development of moist texture. Example, roots of Polygonum multiforum are steamed in the presence of black bean coffee, black bean decoction. In the black bean decoction, this Polygonum multiforum is steamed to enhance its tonic effect. Its tonic effect. To enhance its tonic effect. Its tonic effect towards any type of digestion. When you take this Polygonum multiforum, it increases the tonic effect when it is steamed along with the decoction of black bean. So this is the picture of Acorus calamus rhizome. In Malayalam, Vayambu or Vasanpa. In Tamil it's called Vacha. So it's not very common, but the plant looks like a grass, like elephant grass, long, and the rhizome can be seen. And the Polygonum multiforum, it's a tonic effect. You can see it's like a rhizome, which you can see there, the picture which is available. It's a dried ripe seed of coffee bean decoction, should be steamed along with Polygonum multiforum to have its very good tonic effect. That's why I have given this. When black bean decoction also, I have shown that it is a ripe seed of coffee, Arabica allin, belonging to the family Rubiaceae, that is only used for boosting the effect of Polygonum multiforum. And there is stir frying. What do you mean by stir frying? It is a process in which the herbal materials are put in a pot of frying pan and continuously stirred or tossed. You might have seen the fast food, they used to tossed for a specific period of time, not always doing, tossed for a specific period under heat until the external color changes. As we talk about even frying also or drying also, color changes we have to observe, charred or even carbonized. To facilitate uniform heating, the drug materials can be admixed with sand, talc or clay. Example, liquorice roots and rhizomes, roots and rhizomes of licorice are done by this way, are stir fried with honey. So it's also a medicinal value, highly medicinal value, licorice. So fumigation, when I talk about this fumigation, it's a processing, secondary processing of herbal drugs. I just thought about fumigation of our house can also be incorporated here. It's not for your exam, just to incorporate in this COVID time, how you can fumigate your home by means of a herbal, simple method. Just I have added a video. Understand? So what do you mean by fumigation? Sometimes harvested raw materials are subjected to fumes. Fumigation with sulfur dioxide is commonly employed for some medicinal herbs for the purpose of preserving color, improved appearance, bleaching, and preventing the growth of insects and mold. So this is one type of fumigation which is done for the herbal, but what I have taken is not for the herbals, it's for our home fumigation, room fumigation can be done. So you see in this video, we are taking neem leaves, we have to take it and we have to dry it, understand? And you are taking tulsi leaves and also it's added, and you are taking, that is turmeric, grinding by means of natural, and garlic, you see garlic, turmeric, garlic also we are using, and then amla, gooseberry, it looks like lemon but it is not lemon, amla. So these all of them are dried, you see all of them dried, and take coconut shell and burn it and take the particular hot. After that you can have a very good heat, and you can see the charcoal how it is supporting. You can add even camphor, little powdered camphor if you add to this herbs. So you will get a very good fumes, very good flavor, and it makes you more fumigated, and it prevents you from various bacteria entering into that. Why not even corona can also be prevented to some extent. It has to be done every day. It is also possible a small video to fumigate our place can also be done. Just I have added, it's not for your subjective, understand? So next one is about extraction of the same thing. This is also processing included, secondary processing, extraction of herbal materials. We have done many a type of extraction. So just some points only I am just going to add, and you can make yourself elaborated. Suppose if they ask in 10 mark questions also, if they are, the students have to be able to write to elaborate it. Extraction is a process of separation in which The chemical constituents present in plant and tissues are removed by using selective solvents, which is called as menstruum. Even in the last class also I told about menstruum. When you are preparing an arista, the menstruum which is formed from the fermentation process will take all the active ingredients from the amla, and you are getting amla aristum. In the last class we have discussed about that video. Even you can prepare in your home. And that's what you are saying, that liquid is called menstruum. Herbal extracts include infusion, decoctions, fluid extracts, tinctures and powder extracts. The herbal preparation so obtained may be ready for use as medicinal agents, or it may be further processed to finished products such as tablets, capsule and pills can also be found in formulation. So what is infusion? Just a small definition I have added. Infusion, it is a liquid preparation obtained by extracting herbal materials with either cold or hot water without boiling. Other solvents may also be used. What do you mean by decoction? Decoction, it is a liquid preparation obtained by boiling the herbal material with water. Fluid extract, it is a liquid preparation obtained by maceration or percolation of herbal alcohol. The ratio will be 1 part of liquid contain 1 part of herb, 1:1. Tinctures, it is a dilute alcoholic extract of herbal materials, typically made up of part of herbal material with 5 to 10 parts of the solvents. Powdered extract is a form of herbal preparation which is processed into dried, granulated or powdered material. That's tinctures. So I am just winding up this class. Thank you for only one question I have taken. Thank you for being with me, and be safe, stay at home, be safe and protect everyone from this critical situation. Thank you.